these are the agenda for today. Means we are going to discuss what is digital. Everybody is saying digital transformation, digitization, digitalization. There are so many terms. So what those are actually uh, referred to. So we need to learn that. What is digital? What are the different natures of digital technologies? There are some common natures, or what do I say? There are some common features of all digital technologies. We'll know that. What are the different transformation stages for our organization? If my organization today is at ground zero, I don't have any digital technologies. So what are the different stages through which our organization moves to a digital transformation journey and finally achieve the, this is one issue. And achieve a digital transformation and thereby gain market advantage or competitive advantage. Then we'll further dig down to that. We'll see an example of what McKenzie has said about digital transformation, what digital means for McKenzie. We'll also distinguish between a digital transformation versus a IT-led transformation. Many of the organizations will say we're running a transformation project, but how that transformation is different from a digital transformation. We'll see that. Then we'll briefly touch upon the building blocks of digital capabilities. What are the different building blocks of digital capabilities? Right, in next session, we are going to discuss all the different building blocks of digital technologies and how different digital strategies are formed. We'll discuss various case studies starting from Nokia to Kodak to BlackBerry, Tesla, Amazon, everything. We'll discuss whatever we can think of. Airbnb to Ola, Uber, all digital companies who has succeeded, and for we'll discuss also why some of the companies who were giant at one point in time has failed, who could not adapt to the digital technologies and gradually means they lost the business, they lost the market. So that's the agenda. Now let me move ahead. So what is digital? If somebody asks you what is digital, what should be your answer? What is your perception of digital? Anyone?
If a layman language, something we can do through through our phone or digitally without manual intervention.
Right. Okay. What else? Anybody else? Just try to guess what is digital. Analog to digital. I don't know. What is that? What is digital in business context? We're talking about business context. It's not like digital thermometer versus analog thermometer and so on and so forth. What is digital in business context? Any idea?
Well, I'll share just my thoughts
Yeah.
in a very raw form. I feel digital is something. It is a reusable asset. I mean, anything that we do which can be reused and can be stored not in a physical location, but in a technology driven space which can be reused at any point of time through different means, and there is very minimum risk of pilferage or leakage or where the information or the data can be can be gone away. I mean, that risk does not remain if we do anything in a digital medium.
Okay. So anything in the digital medium is digital. Okay. Good enough. What else?
Hi, this is Indian here.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Hello.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. I feel that, for example, in digital, what you say is that, so if we go for example, the starting of any technology, right? So digital what means is that in terms of our technical language or computer language, it means that everything in the data is stored in digits, like your 0 or 1, right? If you go by the bytes. So
Right.
in that sense, I feel that everything in the world, whatever the data is getting stored by that way, right? So it's nothing to do in the paper or anything in the writing. So in our technical sense, we are involving technology here, and in a way ahead we are thinking. So if I go to the basics, that is the way the data is stored, or that which can be retrieved. Okay, so that is what I mean by digital actually.
Right. So anyone else want to give a try?
Yeah, so Chag here. Whenever you hear the word digital, what I feel is it is nothing but use of some gadgets or some sensors or something which will fetch the data, which will store the data, and basis that data we can analyze that and do some decision making in order to do some changes in our process or any decision making which involves improvement in efficiencies through that data. So digital is something capturing all the data which is now somewhere just in manual thing, but using some gadgets to capture that. So it's all about capturing the data points.
Right, absolutely. So see, this picture represents absolutely whatever we have spoken about, right? So digital is a huge mammoth, like this elephant, right? It's a huge concept. Now, whatever we are saying is like this. Somebody is saying this is a rope. Okay, he is not able to see the entire elephant. Somebody is saying this is a snake. He is not able to see the entire elephant. Somebody is looking at the leg and saying, "Boss, this is a tree." So nobody knows that this is actually an elephant and these are various parts. So whatever you talked about are obviously part of digital, but not digital. Digital is a broader concept, and these all are this analytics, mobile, these are all techniques or technologies involved in a digital space, right? So this is a McKenzie terminology. What they say that if you ask any of the digital, any of the leaders in the organization, what is digital? The most common answer is something related to our IT department. That's an upgraded term of IT. Whatever my IT department used to do is something upgraded to that. Nobody has a clear idea about what digital actually is. And some of them will respond saying that digital is digital marketing or social media marketing, something like that. So the definition of digital for us, for most of us, even the business leaders, are like this. Nobody has a clear idea of digital or the digital transformation. So today we'll try to kind of get that overview what actually digital means in a business world. So whatever you are saying, analog to digital, storing data in 0 1 format. So then from hard copy to soft copy, those are all part of digital, but not in true business terms. Those are digital in their own way, digital in their technical way, but not in business term. Today, once you say this company is a digital company, it does not mean that they only digitize all their hard copies, right? They does not mean this only store all their documents into soft copies. That's not the case. A Zomato or a Swiggy, these are all digital companies. Say Ola, Uber, these are digital companies. Why they are called digital companies? We'll see that. So a Harvard review also says that digital is not just a thing that you can buy and plug in into your organization. It's a multifaceted and diffuse and does not only involve technology. Digital is a mindset. Okay, digital is not only involves technology. If I take three, four different technologies and bring into in our organization, do couple of automations or store all the data into one business warehouse and do a reporting out of that. Those bits and pieces cannot be called a digital transformation. These are part of a digital journey, but these are not cannot be called as a digital transformation. We'll go through all these stages of digital transformation in a while, right? So second thing is if these are not digital, so what is digital? Let us look at some data points, right? So if you go back to 1955, so there are around 61 companies in Fortune 500 list, which were present there in 1955, are still there in Fortune 500 list. Not still there is a bit old data, means 2000 till 2015, those companies were there, right? So there is still a chance at that point in time, the life expectancy of a company was around 50 to 60 years. A company has grown, it has listed in Fortune 500. You can easily expect that the company will run for next 50 years. Somebody is joining. The company will run for next 50 years at the same profit level, right? But now, after 90s, the life expectancy of the companies has reduced a lot. It's 15 to 20 years, right? So, and in mutual funds, as you say, past performance is not an indicator of future returns. It's something similar. You might have done amazing in last 50 years, but there is no guarantee that you will survive in next 10 years, next 5 years. Like BlackBerry, they have done fantastically till 2007, 8 times. And then Apple came, and then rest is history, right? Nobody uses a BlackBerry phone now. BlackBerry was, I think the timeline was around 2011, 12. Everybody used to have a business phone. All business executives used to have a BlackBerry phone. In abroad, even in India also, most of the CEO, CFO kind of profiles, they used to use BlackBerry. That was a status symbol. It was easy to use for emailing and all. So people preferred that. It's history now. Kodak, right? So giant in photo printing or traditional photography. It's nowhere now. Right? All cameras are gone. So nobody uses a Kodak camera now. Only the printing papers. They are still surviving with printing papers. That company got bankrupted, right? So there is no guarantee that if you have done well in past, you'll still continue to do well in future. There is no guarantee. But some companies, they have tested this situation and they have evolved. They have done transformation and they are still in Fortune 500 list. For example, Walmart, right? Walmart is world's number one, what do I say, supply chain of most of the goods. They have presence in so many countries across America. They have presence, right? So how Walmart has grown? So Walmart has grown by scale. It's an industrial era thought that you invest more, you set up more stores, and you'll grow. You'll gain more customers gradually, right? So in US or in UK, every corner or every 10 kilometers, 15 kilometers, you might see a Walmart warehouse where from you can do your daily shopping. But on the contrary, think about Amazon, right? They're about to touch Walmart. At one point in time, they touched Walmart. Now again, Walmart has expanded via digital transformation and all, right? Amazon started as an online bookseller 20 years back. Now, what is the status of Amazon? Across the globe, they have a presence. They are number one online retailers. They're number one into cloud computing and AI services. AWS, Amazon AWS, right? Amazon Web Services. So they are the number one. So how they have transformed. Similar example of Google started in 1990s and in 20 years, they are $1 trillion company now. They started with a merely search-based organization, means web search organization, and from there a global tech giant. Google has everything now. Facebook started as a social networking community or site within Harvard University students. Now it's a global social networking site along with global marketplace wherein you can connect with the sellers, the brands can connect with consumers, and consumers can connect with brands via Facebook campaign ads and all. And also they have launched this marketplace wherein you can put your advertisement as well, and you can get direct customers from there. Okay. And most interestingly, Facebook is helping electoral candidates to win votes. Right. I don't know whether you have seen a web series or a documentary in Netflix called The Great Hack. And in this great hack, they have shown how the US election happened. There's a company called Cambridge Analytica. What they have done via the social media or Facebook, they have collected more than 500 data points of each individual of US, and they tried to manipulate their thoughts. How? How does it happen? Means, so you must have heard from your friends or somebody that boss, your mobile is listening to whatever you are saying. But that's not something which is having any ground as of now. Your mobile is not listening. But these companies have so much data about you. They have created such good algorithms. They can actually think what you are thinking, and they can manipulate that. For example, in India, suppose you are a communist, right? You support Communist Party. So you have searched something on communism and all. The next day onwards, you'll see all communism related contents in your Facebook. Right? Wherever you put some data in the web, in the site, people are watching you. People are collecting your data, and they'll manipulate you. That's the kind of transformation these companies have done so that they can control the whole world using their AI algorithms, their machine learning algorithms, and whatnot, cloud technology and whatnot. So now if you go to NASDAQ and see what are the highest market capitalized companies, these are Apple, Alphabet, which is Google, Microsoft, Amazon, and Facebook. And three out of them, Apple, Amazon, and Facebook, are not technology companies, right? Apple is not a technology company. It's a phone manufacturing company, laptop manufacturing company. Amazon is a retailer, online retailer. It's not a technology company. Facebook is again a social networking site. It's not a technology based company. It will not give you any technical support or something like Microsoft, who has a technical product, your Word, Excel, PowerPoint, your Office 365, your Windows. Microsoft product is a technical company. Google is a technical giant. So they have everything, whatever you can think of, right? But Amazon, Facebook, Apple, they are not technical companies, but they have become such huge just using the digital technologies like cloud, AI, machine learning, right? So that is the power of digital. So that a company starting in 1990s, they can grow up to the $1 trillion company in merely 15 to 20 years. In earlier days, like for Walmart, it took 50, 60 years to grow to such scale, but for Amazon, it took only 20 years or even lesser than that, because they could use the digital technologies like cloud and all, and they could reach out to the customers all over world. For a Walmart to set up a store in India or a Pakistan is very, why there are regulations, means nobody can come from outside and set up stores. Is firstly cost incentive, means you need to invest a lot of capital, and secondly there are regulators who are regulating that market. You cannot just go and set up your stores over there. So it's very unlikely that in this kind of countries Walmart will be able to expand. But for Amazon, it's an online organization, right? You can purchase from Amazon from anywhere. So there will be local sites created, and you are good to go. Obviously, there will be some sort of regulations, but those are not as huge as your setting of physical stores and all. So this is possible only when we use digital technologies. Any questions till now? Means any thoughts? Okay.
But this data, this facts actually tells out that there is a need of this digital transformation, or implementing digital techniques in order to survive in future or probably improvise in future.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right. So data is a new blood. Now, without data, it's very difficult to survive. If any company is thinking that I am not impacted by digital technologies, my industry is still not impacted. They are living in fool's paradise. Today or tomorrow, all the organizations will be actually technology companies. Business will be driven by technology. Now, technology is driven by business, means as per business requirement, technology evolves. Obviously, there should be some market need, and based on that, technology will evolve. But in coming future, most of the business will be driven by business models will be driven by technology.
Right.
One more example, like say example of say Uber, right? So Uber initially in USA, what happened is they also had that YOLO taxis, right? In US.
Hmm.
Now, so the problem is you do not know if you need to go out, you do not know where the next taxi is until and unless you go to street and wait for some time. Similarly, the taxi driver is not aware where his customer is. Is parking his cab somewhere else or is roaming around the street. Now Uber has given that platform connecting both the passengers as well as the drivers. Say Uber does not own any cabs. So they have just given a platform wherein both drivers as well as the uh, passengers can connect together. So a platform economy has got created, and based on that, so many businesses happened, and is all based on technology, right? Uber has his own algorithm. Uber has the highest data of traffic in USA and most of the countries because they know because their vehicles are running on the road. They have the exact traffic data. They know how to optimize the traffic congestion or how to optimize the traffic planning in a particular city. It has more data than Google. Google will just give you the maps, right? And if your mobile is, connected with Google Maps at that point in time, they'll get the data. But Ola, Uber, they have the real time data because every time you take a ride on Uber and Ola, they're tracking the entire route. So Ola, Uber, they have the highest data of any city traffic. So Uber globally has this highest traffic data. And now US government also is working along with Uber for the traffic planning because they have the highest data. They can plan anything with that data. So data is blood now. And one more important thing is the algorithms which Uber and Ola have created means the distance, fare, search, whatever the calculations they have done, which is unparalleled. Means somebody cannot easily replicate and take them out of the business. So it's very difficult to today to replace a Uber or Ola to go out of the business. Similarly, say other technical company or other platform business, if you think of Airbnb, right? So they have changed the entire hotel industry. The entire experience has been changed. Initially, in USA, so Hilton is the number one player on that hospitality industry. And now Airbnb has actually crossed that across globe in a matter of 10 to 15 years. How it was possible is because again using cloud technology. That's one aspect. Technology is one aspect. There's another aspect as well. The other aspect is co-creation. We'll discuss about that. What is co-creation? Means giving users flexibility. Why users will move from a BlackBerry to iPhone? Why users will move from a Hilton hotel to a Airbnb hotel, right? So that's co-creation. Why users will take an Android phone and not as a old day Moto Razr, right? Which was already having iTunes in that point in time. So we'll discuss about that in future. But for now, let us understand as this new kind of companies have been created because of the digital technologies. So One side you see this digital companies has grown super fast, speed of light. In 15-20 years, they have number 1, 2, 3, 4 in the Fortune 500 list. And the other side, uh, Walmart has still kept his place in first 10. So one has done digital transformation, and the other few companies are born digital, right? They have started with cloud technologies.
Right.
Moving ahead, so there are certain, sorry, I think, yeah. So is your business digital or becoming digital? How will you understand whether your business is whatever industry you are in? You might be in manufacturing industry, or you might be in, say, service related industry, anything. How will you understand that your business is also becoming digital? Right? There are few checkpoints. If you can answer those, you will understand that yes, your business is also impacted by digital technologies, and this is a high time that you should also do a transformation. Right? So few checkpoints I have listed. First one is whether your decision making process can be impacted via big data, analytics, artificial intelligence. Means, can you do a predictive analysis via the data you have in your transaction system and also via market intelligence, and forecast your future growth, future sales, future cost, anything? Whether this is yes or no. Second is whether social media shapes the consumer action, interaction, and consumption of your business. Can you manipulate or attract your customers via social media? Yes, no. Mobile apps. Can you use mobile apps or cloud technologies to grow your business, to deliver your services to your customers? Internet of Things, means IoT, whether your machineries can be fitted with all these different sensors, and you can extract data out of that, and you can get some uh, real-time analytics of your machine health, or you can forecast your maintenance duration, maintenance time, breakdown time. You can pre-plan that based on the sensor data you are getting from your factory machineries. Okay. Whether you are using or you can use robotics or drone or 3D printers or something similar to revolutionize or to change your supply chain models. Okay, can you deliver pizza using drones? Can you pack all your products in your warehouse using robots? Whether these are possible, yes or no? Can you replicate your product using 3D printers? It's possible or not? And finally, again, I think the first point is again the similar, whether you are using the cognitive algorithms. Cognitive means the algorithms which can decide of their own. You do not need to decide. The algorithm itself will decide, give a concrete decision. Whether this kind of algorithms is possible with your data and take actions that will help you grow in future. If any of these are yes for your organization, you are impacted by digital. Today or tomorrow, somebody will come and disrupt your market. Once the disruption comes, then it's very likely that if you do not take action, you are going to be out of the business. Right? So most of the companies today will be impacted either 1, 2, or more of this 5, 6 characteristics which I have listed here. So if this is true, then your industry is obviously impacted by digital. Clear?
Yes.
Any questions? Okay.
Yeah, Arindam, I have just one question. So
Right.
these pointers, so when I measure our or any company measures itself on these pointers, so is it a full matured usage of these pointers, or in direction, in alignment to some extent? Do they also have a space in this definition of being digital?
No, here we are trying to assess whether my kind of business can be disrupted by digital technologies, right? So you need to assess your current organization and see whether any of these technologies can be used in your organization for future growth. If yes, if your answer is yes, your company is impacted by digital. Your company is touched by digital. You can do transformation using digital technologies. If you do not do, somebody else in your space, some of your competitor will obviously take that chance and do it. For example, a manufacturing organization, right? So for like us, we work in a paper manufacturing organization where we say that digital is not for us. Most of the old school thought digital is not for us. Digital means the concept of digital is separate. Uh, but how do I actually say that no, digital is for us as well? Like Internet of Things. So in any manufacturing organization, so we have so many machineries and we do not know when a machine will go down. For any sudden incidents, for example, some bearing, we have a history that, okay, a bearing runs for say 30 days. Okay. So that's all right. We know a bearing runs for 30 days. So we'll be prepared with another bearing and replace it in 30 days and I'll have to take a preventive maintenance. Okay. But we do not know for whatever reason that bearing might go down at 15 days as well. It's not in our control. But if we have a sensor attached to that bearing and I get real-time data from that sensor that, well, this bearing, there's a problem in one of the balls in the bearing. The number of revolutions per minute which is supposed to happen is not happening. There is some change in frequency or something like that. If I can sense that prior to the actual incident happening, so I can take a preventive maintenance even before the actual incident happening in a proper time, maybe at night time when our machines do not run. So I can stop it, I can change the bearing. Instead, when the incident actually happens, I'll have to take a shutdown in the productive hours only, and that will cost me crores of rupees. Right? If a full day, if my machine is down to change the bearing, the entire productivity is gone for a toss. Right? So there are chances of improvement, like mobile apps, whether I can give my customers a mobile app wherein they can see all his outstandings from my SAP system, all his invoices from SAP system, whether I can give that. Right? If I do not give that and my competitor, say a different paper organization, he gives all these facilities to customer and customers will say, oh, what a wonderful company. I can see all my details from a mobile app. I do not need to call up the sales representative or the accounts guy in the organization and see it. Okay. So if any one of these points are impacting your business, where you can actually apply these technologies and improve your business is at high risk of digital disruption.
Arindam, there's one question here.
Yeah.
You were talking about the manufacturing industry. So, of course, using some sensors and all these gadgets assigned to the machines, or basically some key parts which play an important role when, which can cause some machine breakdowns and
Right.
gathering that data and all. So that
Right.
is okay when your manufacturing is a machine based. For
Right.
example, if you have some assembly lines, of course, robotics is a part which can automate that. However,
Correct.
the investments in robotics is something which is a major decision the business has to take, and
True.
there are lot of parameters basis which a company actually thinks of transforming from a labor based to a robot based. So,
True.
for
True.
example, if we have a scenario wherein we need to capture or we need to gather the data points from our labor assembly line.
Absolutely.
So, do you have any techniques in mind? How can we capture a labor-led assembly line?
No, so labor-led assembly line means you need to measure the productivity of the labors.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I think there are softwares available now. Means using your webcams, people will monitor all your labors and measure the ideal time whether they are working or not. Everything can be captured via the AI algorithms via this CCTV cameras. Recently, I have come across to in for such a solution from one of the organizations. They have given us two solutions. One is measure the productivity of your labors. If somebody is sitting idle, how many labors are working in the floor? If that is matching with the count which you have done a requisition for that particular machine on that particular day. And also because of COVID, the social distancing and all, whether proper distancing has been maintained, whether laborers are wearing helmets or not. And there is some real-time data reporting alerts based on that. So I think people are working on that area as well.
So is it something in means I have also came across some technology. Is this something in relation with 3D computer visuals kind of technology, wherein it
Yes.
captures the
Yes.
images
Yes.
and then provide that data? What
Yes.
is the
Yes.
efficiency of
Yes.
your assembly line or label, something like that?
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
That's what I've
Okay.
come across recently. Uh, three, four
Mhm.
solutions using all these CCTV cameras. So this was one of them.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
I just wanted to highlight my thought process because
Yeah.
all we are, first of all, am I allowed for that? Having 2 minutes from your
Yes. Yes.
precious
Please
time.
go ahead.
Yeah, all this pertinent question, what you were saying, it's valid, but the major issue right now means every organization, yes, agree that they need to adopt some kind of transformation. Now the major challenge, if I understand correctly, where they will start, and there is a maturity curve for that. Any organization have different maturity curve to adopt those things. But major challenge is where to target initial, because we know this is a long transformation project, and it is not that we wish to transform our organization which has 30 years 40 years legacy, and some 1 month 2 month time they are becoming digital. It is very challenging because a lot of people, lot of process, lot of customer interaction, lot of interface is involved according to that. And we know that in current days any organization has a lot of interfaces with other system also. So the mammoth task is find out the real impact area where we can put this digitalization, and see the value, and how to scale that digitalization, or whatever productivity leveragation or productivity increase for the other part of the organization. That is what I feel that nowadays companies are struggling where to start, because they are in, and the right now they are consensus that they need to apply some part of their business process or anything for digitalization. Now question is where and how to scale. That is another challenge over right now, if I understand correctly. uh,
Great, Ravijit. Yes, that's the struggle. Means uh, today everybody is thinking short term, right? So next quarter, what will be my profitability if I invest so much in the digital technologies? Whether I'll be able to encash that into profits and so on and so forth. But in due course, we'll see that that might not help the organizations. Okay, most of the organizations should be digital. Even I'll take an example of paper industry also, that how from a normal paper manufacturer, one company has become digital in Canada.
okay.
Okay, so
Just like to share my, we approach a different organization for that, but we are facing to to outcome of value means if I expense X amount of dollar value or X amount of million, so what is my ROI? How to calculate those, and what is the KPI I am trying to change those things, and that brings our means industry oriented thought process. Not
Right. That's
only
the industrial era thought process that I have invested so much. So what's the return out of that? So you'll not
Mhm.
get return immediately.
Correct.
So we will come to this. Means there's a change in thought process required between this digital era and the industrial era revolution. Industrial era there is a thought process, right? Based on that, most of the organizations have scaled up. Now the era has changed. It's now digital era. It's a next revolution of industrialization. So we need to align our thought process as per a new era. Now, obviously, there are some business. What do I say? There's some business decisions. How the company wants to grow. What is the financial positions? Is the company's discretion as well. So for now, yes, obviously there's a challenge of convincing all this digital transformation and all. And again, we'll see in future slides that whatever we're talking about now is not actually digital transformation, but it's digitalization. I'll come to that difference.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Now, to move forward, now what is the nature of digital technologies? There are some common nature of digital technologies. First one is it will be general purpose. Once I mean general purpose, means this technology is not confined in your industry. It can be used anywhere, right? For example, mobile. It can be used in any industry. It's easily available. It can be used in any industry. So that's one important characteristic for a successful digital transformation or digital strategy. The technology you are trying to use should be general purpose so that your adoption constant doesn't remain there. I don't think any Amazon has ever created a user manual on how to order a goods in Amazon. Even if they have created, how many of us have actually seen that, gone through that? We don't know, right? Because we all are habituated to use mobiles, different apps, right? We do not need a separate training to use Amazon. We do not need a separate training to use Ola or Uber. So a general purpose technology has been used, which is mobile. And for that, the benefit is I do not need to invest on training my end users. So they already know how to use it. So the adoption will be higher. Second point is pervasive, means available everywhere. It's not confined for any set of people, any set of customers. Available to everybody. Cloud technology available to everybody. Can be connected with mobile and you can use it. Right? So general purpose, not confined to any particular business industry. Pervasive, available everywhere. And the third important point is combinatorial. You can combine multiple technologies together, mobile with cloud. You can combine cloud with artificial intelligence algorithms. You can combine and get a result out of that. Right. So there are three distinctive characteristics of mobile technologies: general purpose, pervasive, combinatorial. Okay. Any questions on these three terms: general purpose, pervasive, combinatorial? Okay. So now, as we know, kind of characteristics of digital technologies. So what digital technology does is now what IT does is IT support the business strategy. So you have your business has supported a devised a strategy, business strategy, and they will ask your CIO to implement certain tools, methods to support that strategy. Now, with the help of this digital technology, it's changing. It's from supporting your business strategy to shaping your business strategy. Means now your technology is shaping your business. Ola, Uber, born technology companies. Their business is technology only. Okay, the algorithms that give them the money. The platform gives them the money. It's not that business had this has driven something and then it has born. So technology is driving business here. It's not the business that you have a manufacturing unit and from there you need a ERP system to manage all your resources and sell from there. Is vice versa, from supporting business strategy to shaping business strategy. The most important characteristics of a digital transformation is that you add value, you shape business strategies, you create new business strategies. Okay, it's not that simply whatever processes you have currently, you are digitalizing that, right? You are from hard copy to soft copy. If you are doing that, earlier you were using a normal thermometer in hospital. Now you're using a digital thermometer. Earlier you had a physical record keeping system in your hospitals. Now you have moved it into cloud and storing everything in the cloud space. It's not digital transformation. You're doing the same thing in a different format. Are you adding some value to this? Are you getting additional business out of that? No, right? There might be some conveniences happen. Obviously, if you're moving to certain digital technology, some convenience will happen. But are we adding real value to the business? No. But if you use artificial intelligence and try to diagnose a brain tumor or a cancer patient much earlier and save his life, that's a digital transformation. You're changing the business model altogether. If you can create your own digital clone that will monitor all your physical parameters via sensors and all, and based on that, they'll give real-time alert to your hospital was this person is now having a heart attack. Please call him and ask him to follow these steps, take this medicine, or send an ambulance automatically from hospital. Am I using my digital technology to transform my business model like this? If yes, then we are doing a digital transformation. Else, it's only digitalization or digitization. Let us see this slide. So for any organization, there are certain stages of transformation, right? And there are some perceived benefit out of these stages. So in the x-axis, I have a range of potential benefits. So the more I go this side, my benefit is higher, and this side is benefit is lower. And in the y-axis, I have degree of business transformation, how much I have transformed, right? So the lower half of this graph is evolutionary level, means I was at ground zero, I'm evolving from there. Like I've started a new organization, I don't have anything. I do anything on pen and paper, right? So first what I'll try to do, all the departments will try to do some local exploitation. He'll try to create I'll try to buy a CRM software for sales. I'll try to create some accounting software, Tally and all for accounting, so on and so forth. So I am doing some sort of digitization. Whatever I was doing in paper, I am now doing in a software. There's a localized exploitation. So one level above from that is internal integration. I integrate all my different softwares departments together, which is a ERP software. SAP comes into play in this case. Internal integration. All of us, the SAP consultants, once we say that we are doing digital transformation in the organization, it's a wrong statement. We are not doing any digital transformation in the organization. But with S4 HANA, we're doing something. I'll come to this. But as of now, we are just doing an internal integration, which is essential for the business. Without that, we cannot do a digital transformation for sure. But only SAP implementation is not a digital transformation. Okay, it's something which is very much essential for organization. Okay, now moving ahead, if I move to this revolutionary levels where actually I'm transforming my business, I'm redesigning my business processes. My age-old business processes, I have started giving a relook at those business processes and trying to redesign that. Okay, I'm doing some changes. Okay, next stage is business network redesign. I have entire supply chain. I have suppliers, I have customers and all. various platforms wherein I collaborate and I do my business. So I'm redesigning my business network. Whatever partnerships we had earlier with a different partner that might not be that valuable today. I might need to go for a different partner. I might need to go out of the old relation with the old partner to get business value from the other partner, new partner. So business network redesign. I'm thinking one step ahead. I'm forgetting all my old relations and I'm redesigning my new business network. Again, one stage ahead of the revolutionary level. And the final stage of transformation is business scope redefinition, right? I'm changing my business scope altogether. Maybe my existing business will be there. I am enhancing my business scope. For example, Amazon. Amazon was known for what? Online retail shop. Now they're number one cloud service provider, AWS. So the entire business scope has been redefined for Amazon from an online retail store, and they were using for in their own data centers all these different AI technologies and all. They thought, why can't we expose the same technology to the market and gain customers and create a new business value? So they thought of that and they have entirely redefined the scope of business. So they have come up with a new business line on AWS. So that's the business scope redefinition, which is the highest level of business transformation. So from localized exploitation to business scope redefinition. So there are various levels of business transformation. So at this stage, business scope redefinition with the help of cloud digital technologies, if we do that, we can say that, boss, yes, this is where I am doing digital transformation. Prior to that, none of them are actually digital transformation. But what are these? Some name should be there, right? What are these transformation? Let us see. So what is this? What are these transformations? So first thing is, as I said, analog to digital, right? You are using a measuring, you are using a normal thermometer, analog thermometer. From there, you are using a digital thermometer, which is digitization. From analog to digital, digitization. You are using hard copy, you are storing soft copy, digitization. Second one is digitalization. So analog to digital assisted to digitalization. You are automating your business processes via say RPA software or something. Right? You are replacing human-centric processes with digital technologies. You have written some code and that's actually automating whatever you are doing in the system. You have you have created a robot that will do quality testing of all your production, right? So these are all digitalization. ERP implementation, you are digitalizing your business transactions. And the final stage is digital transformation, where you are reinventing the scope of your business, like reinventing healthcare operations with predictive, preventive AI ML care. As I was talking about, means in healthcare, there is a revolution happening. Means today you can do operation using a 5G network from a remote place. Doctors can do that. There's a recent example, I think 2-3 days back, something came into the newspapers. Okay, that's a digital transformation. Means no patient will have to wait for a surgeon coming out of a remote place or a long distance. They can do the operation from a remote place itself, right? You can do a preventive, diagnosis of any critical diseases based on the historical data of so many patients. And those diagnoses will be very accurate. Means you have so many data over a period of time and you are doing a diagnosis, or your algorithms are doing a prediction out of that, and that's bound to happen. Means that's bound to give a perfect result. So this is where your digital transformation happens, from analog to digital assisted to digital transformation, and from there to digitalization, and from there digital transformation. Any questions here? Are you still there? Am I taking too much of time? I think we'll wrap up in 5-10 minutes.
Yeah, we are there.
Okay. So what this is McKenzie definition, what digital really means. So McKenzie says this is a way of doing things, creating value in your core business, providing more value to existing customers, making things easier and faster for employees and business partners. That's number one. Create new values in core business. You already have a business, and in that you are creating new values. We'll give an example in very after a couple of slides. Creating new source of values. You have from existing customers or new sources. You're creating no more revenue sources using this digital technologies. And building foundation digital capabilities. It's a mindset, obviously, as I told you. Entrepreneurial skills, agile, data-driven decision making, system and data architecture. Again, that has to be revamped for the old organizations because they are using all monolithic architecture, using old data centers and all, having own servers, and from there somebody has to move to cloud technology. We'll have a separate session on cloud, so we'll understand why we should use cloud instead of using our own servers. Okay. Now I'll skip this slide. We'll come back to this later. Now let us give some examples, right? So we talked about value proposition. What kind of value propositions? So look at the point 2. There are 3 different patterns of value proposition. One is change in value proposition, means you have an existing business, and from there you're creating a new value proposition for your customers. Same customers, you're creating a new value proposition. Second one is expand your value proposition. You are having the same business line, but you are giving something enhanced experience for that value for the customers. And third one is you are improving your value proposition. You have something, you are improving on that. So I'll give 3 examples so that you relate to that. First one is there's a company called Traton, which is a Volkswagen truck and bus company. Earlier this was Volkswagen truck and bus company. Now this is Traton. So they have launched a new platform called Rio. Okay, but Volkswagen is meant for what? Volkswagen truck and bus is meant for manufacturing trucks and buses, right? That is their core value. So I'll deliver, vehicles to my consumers, trucks and buses. That might be commercial, mostly commercial trucks and buses. Now they had come up with a platform called Rio, and what it does is Rio is an open cloud-based platform. What it does is anybody can join Rio. Other manufacturers' vehicle can also join Rio, and they have integrated these vehicles with your manufacturing organizations, with your drivers, and they give real-time information about traffic, about weather, about nearest petrol pumps, nearest gas station, whatever. An integrated platform. There might be some other features as well I'm not aware of, but they have given an integrated platform. So meaning which Volkswagen were known for creating this manufacturing these vehicles, they have moved to a cloud-based platform. What is the need? They can still continue to sell the trucks and buses and earn revenue from there. But what additional they are giving? Why should customers stick to Volkswagen? Why not others? If Volkswagen doesn't do it, somebody else will do it. They'll create this platform and try to bring everybody in his platform. So let us start. So Volkswagen has started this platform Rio, and it's open to all. Any manufacturer's vehicle can join that, and they will integrate with most of the manufacturing organizations and give real-time information. Real-time information about vehicle breakdown and all also, right? So this is a change value proposition. You have an existing core business, but you are changing that from a core manufacturer to a platform business. You are changing your value proposition. Second one is expanding your value proposition. Porsche Passport. Porsche is again, you know, that high-end vehicles. Now, it's a status symbol also to have a Porsche in foreign countries. In our country also, so many guys are having Porsche now. Now, Porsche has come up with a concept called Porsche Passport. Now, what it does is you do not need to own a Porsche car. You do not need to purchase a Porsche car. As per your requirement, you can change the vehicle and they will drop at your doorstep which vehicle you want at what day. You're going for an office meeting. So you choose this Porsche car. So they'll drop a car to you. You're going for a date with your girlfriend over the weekend. So they'll give a fancy Porsche car for you as per your choice. So expand value proposition. You are still delivering car, right? But you have expanded the value proposition. You have given more flexibility to customers to choose any vehicle. And the customer doesn't need to own anything. They'll have to just pay the rent for that. And whatever agreement they have done. That's the expansion of value proposition. And the third example is your improving your value proposition. Now this company, Jiangang Automobile, is a Chinese company. And they are like Maruti Suzuki of India. Now they are specialized in delivering low cost cars. Now they produce in scale and they give it in smaller prices, means their cost is lower. So this is a popular car in China. So what can they do? Improve value proposition, which means they have done their internal transformation, all cost saving measures. They have used cloud technology to capture data and all. They have optimized everything. They have automated a lot of processes within the factory premises and reduced cost. And once they have reduced cost, they have passed on that benefit to customers to keep them intact. So today, if they are purchasing for example, if I replaced in Jiangyang with Maruti, if today I purchase a Maruti Alto with say 4 lakhs, if tomorrow Maruti or Suzuki, they automate their internal processes, optimize their internal processes so nicely that their cost reduced to cost of production today might be 2 lakhs and that has been reduced to 1.5 lakhs. And if a portion of that cost saving is passed on to the customers, and if the customer can now purchase the same vehicle at 3,75,000 rupees, so customers will be happy and more customers will be attracted to this particular organization. So improve value proposition. You are delivering the same product, but with a better value proposition, a better price, right? So these are the three different types of value proposition one can create using digital technologies. Create new value proposition, expand your value, create or change means you create a new one means you are moving from your core value to a different value. Expand your value proposition means you are giving something add on to whatever you do. And third one is improve your value proposition. You give the same product but at a better value, right? So changes to all these value propositions, whenever you do change in this value proposition, there are some ripple effects. Ripple effects means it has spreading effect on so many other areas, right? You give vehicles in lower price, so you gain more customers. You give a passport to take any Porsche car, so the customers will have a luxurious experience. So they'll stick to your brand only. So all finally ends to your customer retention and customer acquisition. So this is what value proposition is all about, which McKenzie has said in the previous slide. So any questions on this value proposition?
I have just gone through many customers and I have seen that McKenzie's way of digital transformation, many customers are trying to adopt that. So
Mhm.
means I am not, I haven't digged down in the McKenzie's way of working. But I would want to know if what is the background of which they are using, or is it something everyone is using as a standardized concept?
It's
If
not
you can
standardized. If you compare, say, McKenzie's digital transformation with the BCG digital transformation, there might be certain differences. The way these companies is big shots will propose the digital transformation as a company. So I have come across this McKenzie part. So I thought, and this has been referred to many digital transformation books. This McKenzie way of digital transformation. So I thought this would be a good example to discuss. But I'm sure that other organizations like BCG and all, they'll have their own way of doing things.
right. Okay.
Now, some examples of digital transformation versus IT transformation. So, as I told you that most of the organizations will do some IT transformation at any point in time. So, what is the difference? The difference mostly into if you do digital transformation, it should redefine or define your organization's value proposition. While IT-enabled organization uh, is basically transformation activities using your digital technology, your internal transformation activities. You do automate something, you are doing manually, you are automating that, so on and so forth. But it does not necessarily transform or redefine your organization's value proposition. Right? And digital transformation creates a new identity most of the times, like say Amazon. Amazon was an online book retailer. They have become a cloud service provider. The entire identity has been changed. Then say the Tesla is another interesting example. So let us discuss in some time. So this kind of companies, the entire identity of the organization gets changed by a digital transformation. But IT transformation is the company will remain same, just that you have automated something, you have changed some internal stuffs. Some other important differences. Mostly digital transformation will utilize digital technologies we call SMAC IT. SMAC IT is a pillar of digital transformation. What is SMAC IT? Any idea? S for social, M for mobile, A for analytics, C for cloud, IT for IoT, SMAC IT. Okay. So these are the technologies mostly being used in digital transformation, but in IT, you can use anything. IT transformation, you can use anything. You can use Java, SAP, anything can help you in transforming your internal stuffs. Digital technologies cannot be restricted to the boundaries of a specific firm or industry, but involves a wider ecosystem. So all these platforms which are created, for example, Swiggy, Zomato, is not, restricted within an organization. I mean, Swiggy is a platform. Any restaurant can get into this, get onboarded, and start supplying their foods. And to my utter surprise, day before yesterday, my Apollo pharmacy medicine was supplied by Swiggy. So it's a platform. Once created, anybody can use it. So digital transformation is something like that. It's not restricted to any specific firms. It can be used across industry. Anybody can use it. Digital technologies, mobile, anybody can use it. Cloud, anybody can use it. And the last difference is your digital technologies or digital transformation will obviously give a new business model will be generated. A new business model will be evolved, wherein your IT transformation will not evolve any new business model. The same business model will improve upon on certain aspects. So these are the differences between your IT transformation and digital transformation. Any questions on this?
Yes, one question. My experience is from seller side. So when we pitch to any transformation project, there are a lot of aspiration kind of things from the client side. Now, why I am saying that aspiration for any change, it is not only change in the organization, it is a huge mammoth task for the people involved and the way they are working, their concern about the job loss, all those things. So there are psychological
Absolutely.
challenges. There are change management involvement for any transformation. It is not digital transformation. It can so so and side by side, if I go to if we are thinking about the CXO level, they have some aspiration. Now those aspiration need to bring down to the line item level, and how to make the scope boundaries for that, because if we open your loops, there are many things in the things. We can ask that I want to fly right now, okay, but doing that fly, you need a lot of things. You need have a financial terms also. So from a buyer side, it is not a seller side. Seller side is can do anything and everything if they get money, okay.
Right.
Now from the buyer side, how organization looks, and what are the more difficult, because in the buyer side, if I look into the people around there, they have 20 years of legacy. They are doing those things for the 20 years, and they know there are a lot of shift in mental change management involvement,
Right.
as well as there are some aspirational things which need to be drilled down in the scope boundaries.
Correct.
So how do you from the manufacturing industry, from other industry, how do you think those can be those are challenges? It is not from the implementer side, it is a mostly from the organization, within the organization point of view.
Absolutely. So the way I look at it is any digital transformation, not the normal transformation, is a CEO agenda. It's not a CIO agenda. It cannot be driven by IT. Simple. IT can support a digital transformation, but the transformation cannot be led by IT. Why? Because it's a business decision how you want to run the transformation. IT will support with all the technologies. Okay. So the CEO of the organization is the most powerful person if he has the vision that yes, I will do this transformation, then he will do it. And whatever it might cost, there will be certain uh, objections from the organization from most of the old employees, right? Because they are used to work on certain areas, certain ways that's going to change. Okay. Change management is the important part. Training is the important part. So we'll have to convince. So once the deal is given to us, the mandate is given to us, then we'll have to convince boss, yes, there will be certain changes in the way you work. The communication should go from both top management of the manufacturing organization or whatever organization and from the consulting partner. Certain changes will obviously be there, but your job will be secured. So why people oppose is because of job loss. That is number one. Second thing is the what you talked about, the aspirational aspect, means a CEO or a CFO wants that was my report should be in this way. I should get everything in alert. If a new credit has come, I should automatically get an alert or whatever aspiration. So mostly we also, our business will also tell like that, because I want like this every day morning. Once I do that morning call at 10:30, I should click a button and the cost report, real-time cost report should be in front of my desk. Okay. So what we have told is, boss, yes, it's possible. But there are certain ways to do that. It's not a click of a button. What we can do is, boss, yes, in your room, I can set up a big monitor. I'll have certain Fury apps on that. You'll have to come to the office, sit into that from your laptop. You need to click on a particular app, and then this will happen. It will not happen automatically, and this will scroll down every time there is a change in the thing. It will not happen. So being transparent on what can be expected or what cannot be expected is also very important. So from the buyer side, we expect that transparency from the consulting partner, that what exactly can be expected, what cannot be expected. That's all. I mean, some company will come say ये भी हो जाएगा, वो भी हो जाएगा. Counter question them. How exactly you are going to do? Right? That's the role of the internal IT team to evaluate what the consulting partner is saying, whether that is possible or not. So that is the way we need to manage it.
Thanks.
Right.
So, Arindam,
Yeah.
in today's scenario, as far as the digital transformation is concerned, can you name some consulting partners who can, plug in with the manufacturing organization and help them zero down what could be the digital transformation initiative which can help or which can have an impact on top line or bottom line of the business? Of course, BCG, McKinsey are there, but if you are aware of any other consulting partner.
See, all big fours have digital transformation wings now, but I'm not so sure how many of them are actually experienced in digital transformation journeys. Okay, I came across some, digital coaches recently. They have run or led digital transformation journeys for many organizations as in their own capacity. Okay, they can give very good ideas. I have spoken to few of them, in fact, couple of them, and they have very fair idea. They are actually CEO coaches, and they have fair idea on this digital transformation on many industries. So I was quite impressed on those guys that they have a very good idea on how transformation should happen. They have idea. See, digital transformation, whoever is proposing, he should have a complete idea of the entire business, starting from your cost to revenue, how sales should happen, everything he should have a knowledge. So that person should be knowledgeable enough, both from business side as well as technology aspect. So then only he or she can, guide a organization. So I was impressed with one guy. So I can connect if you want. I can connect with him. He's a digital coach. He's a CEO coach. I was impressed.
Sure, sure. Thanks for that.
So now,
So these coaches which you're talking about, just wanted to know one thing: are those the ones who then work with the organization, get to know their in and out, and then
yes.
propose, or
No, so these guys, what they have done is in their own organization, they have led digital transformation. Okay. They're in the capacity of CEO or CFO in some of the organizations. Now they have come out of that organization, they have set up their own company, and they guide other organizations for doing digital transformation. Even they handle various startup organizations on what CEO skills one entrepreneur should have. And this kind of stuff. So good thing means a lot of knowledge. If you speak to them, you'll get a lot of knowledge. If they are industry veterans, means 50, 60, 50, 55 years old guys worked on so many industries, they have a lot of knowledge.
right,
Knowledge in
right.
most of the areas. Even they'll give you some lectures on economics as well. How should you price your product based on the market elasticity and all. So quite impressive.
Okay, okay, sure.
Right. So this is the last slide. Means McKinsey has given some building block of digital capabilities. So obviously, number one is strategy and innovation. Your business strategy would be the first focus. What you are going to achieve in your business. Second is your customer decision journey. How a customer decides. So we'll see with a case study in couple of after couple of sessions. We'll try to map a customer journey, how a customer decides to purchase a good. Then obviously internal organization changes. That's a huge mammoth work. You need to revamp your entire organization. You need to be agile, flexible. You need to collaborate with various departments and all. Data is the new blood. So data and analytics you need to use. Technology, we have spoken about all digital technologies and process automation, all internal process automation. So these are the building blocks which McKinsey has talked about. We'll see our own building block in the next session. Means so SMAC IT, whatever we talked about, how different organizations are using SMAC IT, social, mobile, analytics, cloud, IoT, and achieving digital transformation. We'll discuss the BlackBerry versus Apple case and all in the next session. And once we get a good idea about this digital transformation versus IT transformation, once the blur is cleared, we'll get into technology. Means we'll see how cloud can help, how data, how MI, machine learning, um, artificial intelligence can help, how this artificial intelligence projects are taken. We'll see all of this, but with my limited knowledge, if somebody can volunteer to showcase some of this, that will be very helpful, because for me it's not possible to run everything in depth. I can give you an overview, but if some expert can help us, I'm anyway finding for experts from different industry if they can join in, but we need a little more participant to make it more engaging. So let's see.
Right.
Well, that's all from my side. Uh, we'll have 4 questions. Okay, so thank you everyone for joining. I'll save this recording, and once I get some space, I'll try to share this recording as well in the group, and some of the discussion points I'm going to paste that in the chat box as well. And we'll see if from next week onwards we have some better audience. We'll try to engage some other trainers who have better idea on different technologies. Right?
Sure.
Okay. If you have any final words, let us know. Any feedback? Anything else you want to cover? Any feedback? Anirban, Chirag, Samiran.
This session was pretty much giving us like you said, giving that vision of what digital transformation is. Basically, we would, what personally I would want to know, where is the industry going? Probably that you can, you will be covering up with this when we will have those discussions for the technology.
Right,
But
right.
one thing which is very important and which is still not that clear is where is industry going?
Absolutely.
Then
Once we see a few case studies of different industries, then it will be much more clear. Means how the companies are getting transformed. We have to do certain case studies on most of the areas.
right, right. And what I have understood with this digital transformation is that it doesn't have a mm, direct impact on your top line and bottom line, and that is the case because which it becomes difficult to even convince the sponsors, probably your CEOs or CFOs, and why to invest in digital transformation if it is not having the direct impact. But as you have also said, capturing this data, having those ML AI algorithms set, and then probably do that decision making is
Yeah.
what something which takes time.
Right,
And
right.
this transformation is not just getting to a destination; it's a journey. So, and that
Absolutely.
journey takes years of time to get the ROI.
Yes, it
So,
means if you do not do digital transformation now, maybe in short term you'll not feel the hit, but in long term, obviously you're going to go out of business. Okay. So with data, so data visualization has wonderful power to showcase this. So we'll see how data visualization can pictorially depict all these different factors and show our CEO, boss, this is what going to happen. This is historically what has happened, and this is what is going to happen.
right, right. So probably one thing which also I would like you to cover that what would be the process of zeroing down your digital transformation initiatives for an organization. Probably
Obviously.
if we can,
We'll do this. We'll do this. Once we cover most of the part, we have that also digital transformation of our industry and a digital transformation of our organization. How to go for this digital transformation?
yes,
We'll
Right.
do this in
Right.
the last phase of the same. Once most of the areas are covered, we'll do that as well. If you see the topic, I think I have given the topics. If you review that, is there by the section.
Sure. Sure. Thanks. Looking forward for next session.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thanks, Samiran. Thanks, Abhijit. Thanks, Chirag.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Arindam.
Thanks. all.
Nice presentation.
Yeah.
শোনো নাচো